Nia everyone, this is Thermite, and this is How to Treat Magical Beasts, Mind and Master's Medical Journal, Volume 1. Ooh, I'm very excited. I didn't know what the series was until I opened the cover. Like, I saw How to Treat Magical Beasts, and I was hoping it was going to be a medical series, so I'm pretty sure this is correct. Oh boy, I'm really hoping now, like, I won't be disappointed if this isn't what it is, but I'm hoping this is kind of like the Dungeon Meshi of, like, medicine. Like Dungeon Meshi is a series that is all about food, but specifically it's all about like fantasy food. And it has this very powerful feel to it where like even if that doesn't interest you at all, even if you think that fantasy food, I'm not going to like that series. It's just a really good fantasy series that also happens to like it has this very powerful feel to it. And the food is just this interesting aspect of it that feeds into the overarching like the interesting different way that it looks at the world, if that makes any sense. And so I'm hoping How to Treat Magical Beasts is kind of like that. Like, I don't want it to just be a medical journal. I want it to be a series where, like, through reading the series, you get this very, like, interesting view of a fantasy world and of fantasy creatures. Anyways, let's go right into it. As much as I think this cover is really good, I'm probably going to use this for the thumbnail, because my gosh, that looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Based on this, either this is a pelt or this might be an actual animal. But like, it's a really cool shot. And we have the master, we have the who I assume is the main character, the mine here. And then salamander, perhaps, or like an axolotl. Like, this looks like an axolotl, whereas I guess these are the same thing, perhaps, but I don't know. The wings look different. Oh, that looks even better. Oh my gosh, never mind. This is probably going to be the cover image. I appreciate any series that can do that, where they have like the cover image and they have a clean version of it. And this isn't even just a clean version. This is like an expanded version of it. Oh my gosh, let me just quickly save that. Ziska. Okay. That new medicine came. So witchcraft does exist, I have to assume. But like, this old lady was specifically like, hey, if you want to make money, like, you should sell these fake charms. But yeah, like, and she's very clearly saying like, yeah, these are fake. So fantasy creatures and like magic does exist, but they're not believed in anymore. I'm actually wondering, is this a like, how do I put this? Is this like a Neil Gaiman fantasy world where belief is also part of magic? Like, is the magic in the universe really going away because people don't believe in it anymore? Or is it just something like for some reason, like for some other reason, people are turning away from magic? Also, this is going to bother me. I really don't like in official releases when they have like this pattern all over everything. Like, can you see that? Like the little dots there? You probably should be able to. I'm recording this in 1080p now. But, this bothers me so much. It really does, because it's also like it's not on the actual like original release. But I'll look past it because I'll look past it for chapter 1 at the very least. If it's not the kind of series I like, then obviously I won't. This is a story of a time when the ways of magic were waning and supernatural creatures were fading from existence as scientific advances ushered in a new era. Okay. This is also a neat tack to take with it because, like, the very basis of medicine is that it is scientific. So is this going to be I can see two different ways of this going. One is that these two are like both really into magic, but like they approach magic with a sort of scientific resolve. And because of that, like they're able to create a magic that is understandable and that people will accept again. Either that, or I could see it being like he's the the medical scientist, like, whereas she is more of a witchcraft user, and so they're able to attack the same problems from different angles. It's one of those two, I think. There's a puck hiding in every chapter. Try to find them all. Oh boy. Okay, this is something that I see this mostly in Western comics, but I know like One Piece does this. But especially if it's like in every single chapter, that is very exciting. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out, especially if it's not like a canon thing that exists there. Yeah, I'm not telling you to stop making medicine with magic. However, an apprentice like you shouldn't do too much on your own like that. This is true. Like, if she's trying to to apprentice to become like a doctor, for instance, she also shouldn't be selling like weird stuff on the side. That's real sketchy. Ooh, and he's like, through this, he is outright saying he doesn't believe in magic. Then, like, what if someone's solely dependent on your medicine until it's too late for them? Like, there's that inherent thing of your medicine isn't going to work. It's the same reason why homeopathy, for instance, is not great. Like, even if there is the placebo effect, even if that placebo effect means that it's like not a waste of money, or like, if there is some like real effectiveness to it, even if that's the case, like, is it worth it? Like, what if someone just focuses on that until it's too late for them and they can't get, they can't be helped by real medicine? But to compare that to her magic, which I assume has to really exist, like, that must be a real hard hit. Do you not believe in magic? Okay, it doesn't work on those who don't believe. They can't see, they don't understand. It's not like how it used to be. People know too much. Okay, so it is what I was thinking of. I've always liked this idea because, like, it makes magic this thing that cannot be understood, and the more you try to understand, the less it'll work. Because it also means that, like, you can surpass magic through knowing things, but oh my god, what the fuck is this? Then Master won't be able to see you, right? So this is the Lindworm, I assume, which is also the thing on the cover. Or, not the cover, but the page right after the cover. The one where they're sitting down. Yeah, because that face looks, like, the head shape looks familiar, and I can see the feathers here. So I guess its eyes must have been closed on the, on that shot. Aww, poor Lindworm. Okay, we magic casters can see things that others have forgotten. That's why it is your duty to care for and save those creatures. Alright, that's a very noble idea. That, like, even if human beings won't accept her medicine anymore, like, she can still take care of magical creatures. People don't believe in it anymore, but Mama's medicine is the real deal. Yeah, it looks like a stab wound, I guess, but I don't know. I guess it also looks like a bullet wound to me. Like, it looks more like a bullet wound than a stab wound because it's so, like, cylindrical. I guess if you stabbed someone with, like, just a spike or something, it would do that, but still. It didn't even wake up when I got close. So, yeah, it's not doing well. Maybe it's infected. I don't know, because, like, I don't want to judge too much about it. I'm going to say it's either, like, infected, or it's poisoned, or there's something inside the wounds. Alright, she's going to head out, and I assume he's going to follow her, right? Like, we're building up this idea that she's the only one who can take care of the Lindworm. So, I think he's going to have to help. I think he's going to have to use science in order to save the Lindworm. Both stem from the same source, but using science, we can see that Salicin is what stops the pain. The progress of civilization is snuffing out the existence of magic and mystery. Right, that's why anyone can use and get those same results. It doesn't matter what their bloodline or compatibility is. That kind of equality is truly meaningful. It really is. Even if, like, the whole idea of magical medicine, the idea of, like, using prayer to heal someone it's noble, but there's always that problem of, like, oh, well, it didn't work. So we didn't pray hard enough, or we didn't, like, infuse enough magic into it, or just, like, the magic has, a 28% chance of actually working. Like, that level of variance is not okay. Whereas with medicine, like, sure, there is some level of variance, but it's much less than what people think it is. Like, a lot of the time, like, apart from very rare scenarios, like, for a lot of things, like, there's a very cut and dry thing of, like, all right, so this is infected, so we'll use this antibiotic, and then we'll, stitch up this way, and it'll always work. Also, it is really interesting that, like, herself uses an actual, like, chemical painkiller, but then there has to be some sort of, like, additional thing that the magic does. Otherwise, it would just be, like, an herbal remedy. I do absolutely agree with the sentiment, though. I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to move. Oh, no. It's all blotchy. And, like, it's blotchy specifically on its fur. Which I have to assume is more of a fantasy thing than, like, a actual thing that happens to animals that are infected, perhaps? These scale-like things, they weren't here before. You're sneaking around every day was starting to get suspicious. Come on, guys. But okay. A child of a Draken, huh? The shock from impact has destroyed surrounding tissue. Okay, it's a bullet wound. Oh, I called it. I called it. Yeah, it looks like... It definitely doesn't look like a stab wound. Yeah, so it's being poisoned by the lead bullets. Oh, that's right. It's gonna have needs to have anesthesia. Okay. Yeah, the dosage for a Draken documentation like that doesn't exist, so they're gonna have to just go like. Oh, that's terrifying. Because from what I understand about anesthesiology, like it is a science, but at the same time, it's kind of an art, which is terrifying. Like there is a very clear guideline of okay, so for this weight and assuming this amount is fat and this amount is muscle, you dose this much. But there's also people who just like happen to have a higher tolerance or happen to have a lower tolerance, and it's like, well, I guess I'll just pump it up a little bit and make sure they don't die. But like that's so worrying. Ooh. Okay, so he has magic scalpels specifically for treating magical creatures. Ah, that's really cool. I'm wondering where's the cutoff though? Because like they're not compatible with science, so you have to use a magical magic scalpels basically. But at the same time, they're going to use scientific knowledge in order to save it. Like this knowledge of okay, well here's how you treat a bullet wound. So how much of that can you use, like how much actual medical knowledge can you use before it starts to damage the magical creature? Or is it that knowledge is okay, but like instruments of science are like poison to magical creatures? Okay, bringing it up right there. All we can hope to do is ease the strain on their bodies as best as we can. Okay. Yeah, so I mean that also makes sense. Like there is no. I'm trying to remember what the quote is, but there's a really great quote about medicine or about surgery specifically that says like a surgeon cannot heal; they can only cut. Like no matter what a surgeon does, in the end, they're not like making things heal faster. They are damaging the body in such a way that hopefully, when it heals itself, it'll heal better than if you'd left it alone. And this is very similar in that, like, even if they're using science, like, the science is going to hurt these magical creatures. And so all they can do is hurt them in such a way that hopefully their bodies will be able to naturally heal. All right, so opium. Okay, so she thinks that he's, an opium addict. Humans use something more potent. Right, okay. And, like, the Draken clearly trusts them at this point because it was willing to take the opium and now it's, like, fading away. It's not threshing. Ooh, who knows? Perhaps this is how dragon stones are formed. Okay. I don't know what a dragon stone is, but okay. Right. Oh, okay. So in this creature's case, it's more like the man-made metal was poisonous to him. So it's not even that it's like the lead hurting it. It's that specifically the bullet is a scientific invention and that like science is like kryptonite to it. Oh, that's a really cool way of putting it, because that means that most of the creatures we're going to treat in the series, I assume, are going to have to be hurt by man-made things. And, like, not necessarily weapons, but it could be, like, smog or something, for instance. And again, this is a really good illustration of what he was saying before. Like, if you just use your magic constantly, you might stop a creature from getting real treatments, or a person from getting real treatments. It's true that you failed as a doctor. It can't be helped seeing, that you didn't see his gunshot wound. You overestimated your own strength, so you didn't ask her advice, even though a life is at stake. That's something you absolutely cannot do as a doctor. Okay. Oh, this is also really cool. So, I brought up the whole thing about how a surgeon cannot cure, or like they can't heal, they can only cut. However, she's not a surgeon. She is a sorcerer. So it's possible that she can, like, her salves and whatnot actually can heal it. Like, it actually can improve the healing process. Okay, they're Drakens of falling stars. Ooh, I saw like some falling stars on the cover, so maybe I'll check it once the volume's over. Maybe the Draken's like in the background somewhere. Stardust are pieces of a comet. Lately, some say that falling stars are actually pieces of ice. Okay, that's a real neat way to go about it. So, like, they're using he's using scientific knowledge to help point out that, oh yeah, they are water based, and she's using her sorcery knowledge to link that together and say like, okay, so they hang out by lakes, so scientifically, or in terms of just arcana, it makes sense they would be linked with water. So give them some water. Branch of birch, stinging nettle, sage, valerian, chamomile, and willow. Right, and every time she does something like this, he's going to look at it and think about the actual medicinal implications of it. I mean, I guess in a way, like sorcery is like it's a way of taking actual medicine and then like using magic as a conduit, like putting that medicine into someone. So like a spell that uses an anti-inflammatory would make something less inflamed, even if you don't actually like, drip the stuff into the body. Like you're taking the essence of that anti-inflammatory and putting it into the creature. And because they're magical creatures, naturally, like, administering the stuff in a magical way would not, like, it wouldn't hurt them the way that, like, actually giving them an injection would. I haven't really, like, been talking about it, but the actual art in the series is beautiful. Like, especially this branch is just, it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. We will help you return to the skies. Ooh, okay. It's a falling star. Is its brethren calling out to him? There's your family. Hurry up and go. Oh my gosh. Oh, how cool. How unbelievably cool. Right. Astronomy has already discovered what falling stars really are. However, looking up at them, people once saw Drakens in the sky, just like you and me right now. That is so interesting that in this shot, you can clearly see them like swerving around as Drakens, but then we zoom out and they're normal falling stars. I feel like he's got to have like, there's more going on there, right? We're not going to learn what his whole deal is that quickly. We need to examine a horse tomorrow. Oh, and it's the Dragonstone. Right. Maybe you'd get a good price for it. It's from a dragon. Maybe it would sell. It probably really well. It's from a dragon. Oh, but I'm not selling it. Okay, fair enough. This running joke of it's from a dragon after all is great. Also, I really like the fact that this omake basically, or like this, post-chapter little credit thing, is it's a natural extension of the chapter, and it's a little goofier than the actual chapter, but like it's not just a gag. It is what I assume is going to be canon. Like at some point, she might use that stone as a catalyst for magic. Also, oh my gosh, she is so cute. Salamander. Okay. Also, this is a really good contrast. Like we went from a creature that is based around water to a salamander, which I know at the very least is going to be based around fire. This is salamander skin from the east. At first glance, it looks like normal fabric. Behold! As you can see, flames cannot burn it. Okay, so it's not real. It's not made of cotton or fur. It's made from minerals. Ah. Like asbestos, okay. Fluffy rock? Okay, so this is just straight up like them walking through the village, and she has a question. He's like, all right, so let's stop for an education break. Okay, so he's an appraiser, but like he just has general cool stuff. That's really exciting. Yep, asbestos is soft. Make sure to breathe it in real deep. Yeah, like as much as asbestos is like a bad thing in our world right now, it like there's a reason why it was used as insulation for so many things. Like it really doesn't ignite. Your timing is perfect. I'd like you to examine this guy. All right, so this is a real salamander. Why is it green if it's a fire salamander? So yeah, he's got to be sick. All right, this is really cool. Like we're doing a like basically just a pet stop. Like, hey, here's my pet. Can you fix it? And they don't automatically assume it's a salamander or anything. Or, like, they don't automatically assume that it's, like even though the seller said it was a salamander, they're going to go through things and, like, figure out, like, okay, is this just a normal lizard? They eat fire, so, this is a problem, though. Like, if it's not a salamander, then it would be dangerous to try and burn it. Right, makes sense that fire spirit wouldn't eat crickets or worms. But it doesn't want to eat the fire. Oh, it can't see. Okay, so maybe it was like near some burning coals and it ate. Oh my god, what if they turn it all around and say it's asbestos? Like, the reason why it ate it is because it was like, oh, it's something in the fire, but it wasn't burning. Oh, the age of a turtle shows in layers on its shell. I didn't think that would work here. Like, that's the thing. I cannot tell whether this is a fantasy thing or either like, or if actual creatures with like long-lived scales, like, scales that don't shed very often, if those also show like a creature's age. It makes a lot of sense though, if it does. Right, this little guy might be extremely old. I can set things on fire and easy stuff like that. It's not healing magic. Okay. So, ooh, I didn't think about it, but yes, magic would also be a way to like simulate modern medical equipment. Like, like a light that doesn't emit heat. And right, that's true. If it's not a salamander, which they can't say if it is or not, like they need to treat it no matter what because it's an animal. So, like, while it might be okay if it's a salamander and you burn the crap out of its back, like you don't want to try. Ooh, okay, that too. That like they're going to anesthetize it, but like if it gets too warm, it's going to break out of that anesthesia. That is pretty cool. It's pretty difficult to keep it at a steady level of brightness. And also, they only work once. So, yeah. So, they're already starting to run out, too. Ah, this is such a cool idea. Like, they're going all in, and they're expending so much effort to save this animal. Which is something I love about veterinarians in general, but I didn't think I'd ever get to read a manga about it. Right. The ability to produce the constant, steady light for a long period of time is only a recent discovery in this world, so the idea that she can simulate that with magic is pretty crazy. It's simple magic, right? If you stay calm, you can do it. Come on, Ziska, I believe in you. Oh no, did she faint? Okay, they're gems. That's some classy gluttony. I wonder if they're going to give them back, or if they're going to just say like, hey, we've got money now, fuck it. He's eating the fire. I would love to see this. Like, something about that in general. Like, the idea of someone doing something with fire you're not supposed to do with fire is just it's such a cool concept. And now that he ate enough fire, he's able to change back to his real form. He's furry! Oh, really? Even though they're the same chemical compound, they can take different forms. Right, so like diamond and graphite. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Like, that's, they didn't need to explain that at all. And that also makes sense because it's asbestos. So even if he jumps into a fire, it should be fine. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh shit. I didn't even think about that. That salamander skin could have been real salamander skin. Because, yeah, even if it was really asbestos, that's actually real salamander skin. Oh no! Yabe! Oh no! No, bad salamander. Yeah, I can't keep him. My shop will burn down. Oh, that's really cool. So now he can live in the lamp. And yeah, because, like, clearly this guy tried to take care of him, and he also got him the help that it needed. So I guess it'll be able to be trainable. It'll know at some point, like, okay, I shouldn't set this entire thing on fire. If you'd stay quiet about this, I never would have noticed. Right, they're worth more than I paid for him. Okay, that's true too. Like, there's no sense in a world like this of, like, trying to find someone to give them back their shiny gems. But okay, so yeah, I'll use them as payment for the examination. So it wasn't pro bono. It wasn't pro bono. Oh, this is so cool because I just read a Dungeon Nursery chapter that was talking about, like, money and whatnot. So now they have a reason why, like, if they're on hard times, they can sell off those gems, and like they don't even need to like show it on screen. They could just say that they sold them off in order to explain away like how they're able to like get through a drought of service, or how they were able to like afford some stuff. I mean, it definitely explains why they're able to get all those Firefly stones again. Or, like, why they're able to recover the cost of those Firefly stones. This poor pupper. Her wounds have closed properly, so she'll be just fine. Aww. Oh. Okay, that's real mean. Like, she cares so much about this dog, and even though, like, it has, like, scars on its face, she still loves it, which I think is a really good thing. But then, at the same time, she's like, oh, that rabbit's, like, whatever. It's disgusting. I'm thinking of throwing it away. Like, I feel like it's way too easy to look at a sick animal and go, like, oh, there's so many more animals like that out there, so let's just kill it. I know at some point, like, it is necessary, especially for, like, certain shelters and whatnot, but it's just, it's never going to feel like a good thing, Wolpertinger. Now, that's a name I do not recognize at all. It sounds like some sort of German creature, which in that case, that would be like, what, Wolpertinger? A Wolpertinger? Like, that would be a Wolpertinger. Or is there a specific way you're supposed to pronounce a T-I? I don't remember. Sorry. You're right. The dog that stays cute is valuable, but the rabbit that isn't cute anymore doesn't matter. Aww. Oh, shit. Okay, we're going to that. Do you know what cancer is? We don't hear about it much around here, but there are rabbits like this in the South. But so this is the dynamic of this chapter. Like, she's not going to give up on it. Even if there's like a 0.1% chance of healing it, she's going to try and heal it. Okay. And like, he's not saying not to help it. He's just saying like, okay, it's probably going to die, which is fine. Like, that is actually a really good thing to do as a medical professional, is to say like, hey, these are the facts. This animal is most likely going to die, but we can still ease its pain. We can still, let it go out on a high note. And true, like, operating on it might just make it really angry. All right, this is real. This is a very, like, there's nothing wrong with this, basically. There's no problem with what he's saying to me. He's just being real about it, and he's saying, like, all right, even with our help, it's not like it'll be cured. Remember that. In that case, I'm actually wondering if this creature is going to die or not. Because on one hand, like, the chapter seems to be set up to like eventually have the Wolpertinger like survive. But that seems like it would teach her the wrong lesson. I feel like that would tell her like, oh, you can always save an animal if you just try, which even then, that might be a good thing to teach her now in order to set up an arc later on where she can't save an animal. Right, that's a pretty common story. In the end, they're just animals. There are countless lives like that. We can only help a small fraction of them. But it'd be great if we could save as many as we can. Right. Stupid that I wouldn't have a job. You can't go around willy-nilly taking tumors out. Yeah, so, like, it's mainly a poisonous plant, so it can be used for evil, but a sorcerer can choose the effects they want from an ingredient to a certain degree. Which is also, like, that's really cool, because we do that with medicine. Like, there are lots of plants where, like, they have certain compounds we want, and they have other compounds where it's like, oh no, this is bad. And so we do extract the compounds we want, and just those. And like, especially in an environment like this, where they're starting to industrialize, but it's very slow, and they're still like, they're still pretty old-timey. This ability to like take a deadly plant and pull out just the one compound you really need, like, that is invaluable. All right, it looks like it's getting better. I'm so torn now because I don't know what is better. Right, what we did, do you think it was wrong? This is a very heavy question to say. Like, the whole idea of, like, should you prolong something's suffering, or should you just let them die? Especially when it comes to animals, that's, like, with humans, it's a very heavy problem, and there's that additional thing of, they're a human being, they get to choose. Whereas with an animal, they don't get to choose. You are the one who decides, like, whether this animal is going to continue living and suffering, or whether you're going to, like, let it go free. And when I say that, like, there's a very clear bias in my voice. But those are both very difficult calls to make. Like, if I want to rephrase it for the sake of balance, like, do you want to, like, spend a little more time with this beloved animal, or do you want to end its life? There, I said it both ways. Right, we can't ask them what they want. No animal wants to die, probably, but extending their lifespan, that's something we force onto them, not something given by nature. And, like, I said basically that, but I think the way the manga said it was 10 times better. Right. He may be suffering from stress and pain now, but at least he gets to eat delicious food until the very end. And hunger is something all living beings wish to assuage. Just as lindworms are shooting stars, maybe the true form of Wolpertingers are rabbits with tumors like these. That would make sense. Like they did say before, some of those tumors look like wings, and these are clearly like horn-like tumors. Mama told me once that apparitions are not just apparitions. They're all different forms of something else, like how water can change between liquid, ice, or vapor. Okay, this is really scary. Like, it's possible that this will work, and that this rabbit will become a Wolpertinger. It's also very possible that she's going to use this magic, and it's going to just die of cancer. I am so scared. Like, this series could do either of those things, and they would both be valid options. No animal wants to die, so I want to do something that gives us even a little hope. Alright, let's see. Please, fly once more. So, it was a Wolpertinger, like, or at the very least, like, it gained the horns, it gained the wings. There's violent as wolves, and on top of that, they're carnivores. Oh no, it's gonna attack them. Okay, good. Whew, we're no longer needed. Your family's magic, is it really just healing magic? It seems different somehow. Yeah, like, that didn't seem like Especially because she can curse things. Like, yeah, that's cursing magic. Isn't your magic healing magic? But she seems to be able to do a wide variety of things. Or it's not that it's a variety, but like if she has a niche, that niche isn't healing magic. It's something else, like transmutation, perhaps? But yeah, this brings up a strange question. Oh no, so many Volpertingers. Yeah, what is that girl doing? She's gone insane. Oh, okay, it's laundry. Ooh, you want a mandrake? Okay. So she's gonna do some research. She's gonna look into mandrake technology. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna work. Because in a lot of series, like mandrakes are actual, like, how do I put this? They're not vegetables, really. I guess they are, technically. Like, they really are root plants. They really do exist in this world. But they don't really scream when you pull them up. So, like, a lot of fantasy series will, like, have them be, like, you know, basically creatures. And a lot of realistic series will have them not be. So how is this world going to do it? Like, is it literally, does it come down to just, like, if you believe, it'll, like, scream, and if you don't believe, it'll, you know, you can pull them out normally? They just look so suspicious. I feel like they're using carrots or something, calling them mandrakes. Right, it's just a normal herb. Okay. This is also really cool. Like, for the first time in the series, we have a mythological thing, and she's bringing up the fact that no, it's not mythological. Like, there is no magic behind it. It's just, you know, it's just a story. That's very different. So how are we going to, what's the dynamic going to be here? Oh, there might be magical ones as well, but, right. We can't be sure the pharmacy is selling the real thing, so we're going out to pick some mandrakes. I'm going to bet right now that it's going to be that if she picks one, it's going to scream, and if he picks one, it won't. Like, even though he does believe in magic to an extent, like, he believes less than she does. And so I think that might be the difference. Also, I assume that in this world, the scream of mandrake doesn't kill you. Otherwise, like, they would die if they screw up once. Okay, use a sword to cut a circle around them. In the case of the mandrake, the roots spread really wide. The reason they say it's hard to pull them out when they scream is probably because of their large root system. Oh, the sounds of the roots ripping. What? I have never heard of that explanation. Like, I've read a lot of series that have mandrakes in them. But I have never, not once have I ever heard of that explanation. But that's genius. Ah, the sound of the roots ripping. Oh my gosh, I love it. So, and it seems like it's just a normal, like, plant. And what? Also, it's not like, no, it's not humanoid. Like, the entire reason why we have that myth around the mandrakes is that they look humanoid. The mandrake plant is just a medicinal herb. This is the magical beast mandrake. But yeah, it's not humanoid. It looks like a mole. Oh. Oh, this is so weird. Like, it's such an interesting distinction between these two things. That, oh yeah, there are magical ones, and the magical ones don't look like humanoid. But the completely normal, mundane, non-magical ones, those ones do really look humanoid. There's no reason for it. It's just how they are. I wonder if that's actually part of the mythology or not. I've never heard of the idea of them not being humanoid. Oh, he's cold and he has no pulse. Wait, what? They say mandrakes are humanoid plants, right? They don't call them plant like humans. So, it looks like an animal, but it's a plant. Yeah, like, there's no way they can treat it if there's, like, something wrong with it. Okay. Sorry for dropping you earlier. Aww. But okay, so she's using the mandrakes to make medicine. I assume they're going to just treat this mandrake and then, like, bury it again, perhaps? Because I can't imagine they're going to use it for medicine. Especially after they've spent this much time, like, trying to make it look cute. Alright. Just like poison, medicine causes changes in the body. Especially alkaloids. They tend to be pretty harmful to animals. You can make various medicines with your magic, but their efficacy has been proven through records of past cases. But her version, the one that she learned about from her mom, like, doesn't have past history. It's just something she heard about. So if they test it on something, it's going to be like actual animal testing. They probably didn't test things. Yeah. Like, as much as I think witches shouldn't be persecuted, even fictionally, at the same time, like, that's real sketch. That's real dangerous. Don't test things on humans first, or don't use things without testing them. Oh my fucking god, she's gonna die. She's gonna die. She's so retarded. Yeah, what a crazy method. I would absolutely do the same thing. Like, yeah, throw it away. This is not okay. And she's clearly not ready to be making her own medicine if she's willing to, like, chug an entire vial of medicine to show that it works. That's real fucked up. Wait, what? Mandrakes are also believed to have aphrodisiac properties. Wait, what? I don't know the implication there. I do not know the implication of that. What happened? Did they, what happened? Like, is it literally just that, you know, she was aroused there? Like, I have to assume that's all it is. The last time I was this freaked out about something, it was in a series that, you know, like, it was in a different series, and I jumped right to, oh my gosh, there was coming involved, and then everyone made fun of me for jumping right to the coming. So I have to assume that this was just, you know, just a grab. And he was embarrassed, and so he was like, nope, too dangerous, throwing it away. But still, yeah, she should not be able to do that kind of thing. Hopefully the next time they do something crazy like this, they'll have a way of testing it in an ethical way. Alright, get rid of the stuff, dispose of all the original ingredients. Aww. Oh, he read the journal. Master threw out the medicine I worked so hard to make. He won't tell me his reason for doing so at all, so I take back my entry from yesterday saying that I love him. Stupid Master. Oh no. Master, you've wrecked your master reputation. God, also I really appreciate that these are like 2 pages each. Like, they are the omake pages, you know, the pages that most mangaka would just like put a little scribble in here and here. But they are a natural extension of the chapter, and they do like add extra like information. They are goofy, but at the same time they're like useful. Oh, I love any series that can do that. Okay, I have to be nearby, so I want to say hello. Who is this girl? Ooh, Kelpie Part 1. Okay. So this is Ziska. Right. I'm Annie, Master Camille's student. Nice to meet ya. Ooh, okay. Oh, so they she doesn't really know if the salamander exists or not. Just like, oh, well, when we turn off the gas, that one still burns. Aw, this is cool though. Like, so far, Ziska hasn't really been able to bond with someone her own age. It's always just been Master. And then we saw like her interact with Camille just a little bit. So okay, this is nice. We're starting to build up an actual cast. Okay. Right. I can see this. Like, she feels like all she's done is made mistakes and find out there are things she can't do. Right. Oh, she's 13. She doesn't look 13. I mean, I guess it's anime 13. But right, like, at some point, especially if you're working a job, and I have worked a job in the past, like not being yelled at, I guess, but like just in general, being criticized is just part of life. Like, you can't take it too hard. At the same time, you can't brush it off. Like, if you're being yelled at, it's probably for a reason. But like, I feel like there's a very hard breaking in period for a lot of people where they start getting criticized and they're like, oh shit, like this is real bad. I should, you know, live a life where I don't get criticized at all. And they strive for an ideal that can't be achieved. Let's take it slow, okay? You might be able to help somehow. Okay. And this is also really cool that, like, through their interactions, she's learning, like, hey, you have to be proactive sometime. Like, even if you're going to be yelled at later on, like, if there's a problem, you should go and check it out. A boat sank. Okay. Oh my god, is this going to be a solo mission? Like, is it going to be... I know this is Kelpie Part 1, so maybe it's a 2-part chapter, and the first part is just her, like, examining the Kelpie and like working on it. And then part 2 is going to be like Master coming in. Ooh, and no one else noticed the blood except for them. So I have to assume she can also see magical things. I'm wondering now if the salamander is like visible, or like if the fire the salamander makes is visible. Because that would be really cool if it was invisible fire. Like, that would be useful for a lot of applications. Not really in the series, but like, I'm thinking mostly of like, what are they called again? Like the Hand of Glory? Where like it's a prisoner's hand wrapped around a candle, and when you use it, only you can see the light of it. Like, you could do something like that with the salamander, where like if there's a blackout, or if you need to like move in the dark without being seen, you could use that to like transport a patient or something. Okay, something big enough to capsize his boat, so it's got to be a mammal or reptile. Somewhere secluded where the current is gentle. Boom, Kelpie. And yeah, she can definitely see it. Right. It'd be better to leave it alone. No, I might be missing something again, so she's going to be more thorough about it. Okay, so she's not going to handle it on her own. She's going to call Master. This is good. I need Master's help. Right. Oh my god, is that it? Is this? Oh no, it's the end of the volume. But yeah, she has matured quite a bit in this short amount of time. Like, she now knows that this Kelpie is important. Like, this animal's life is more important than trying to do things herself. And he's just sitting at home like, what is happening? Right, there are some artistic liberties taken in some parts of the story, but I hope you enjoy the story itself. This is a fantastic story. This has been amazing. Ooh, magical nurse Ziska, an angel fighting death to protect the peace. There, protein overload. She just jacked him up with steroids. Kill hunters, humans bad, massacre. You did it, Ziska. With this, the bad hunters will be eradicated. Oh my gosh. Also, this is really weird to say, but this feels like a Seven Seas series. Like, as opposed to a Kodansha series. There's something very just like, I don't know, very niche about the way the series works, where like, it feels really good. It feels like the kind of thing that could be super popular, but it feels like it's not going to be. It feels like it's going to be this like niche thing all the time. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. I love this series. I feel like I've said that about a bunch of series in the past, but this especially hits every single note I've wanted. It's got animals, which I love. It's got medicine, which I love. It's got magic, which I love. It's got really good character dynamics, which I love. We've got a like strong male like teacher character who is not a jerk, who is very reasonable while still having his own small problems. We've got Ziska, who is just an adorable creature, just the best. Also, I did not find any of the pucks. God damn it. I'm gonna have to reread this entire thing just looking for the puck now, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll give it a shot later on. Also, no, we already saw the mythical creatures. I'm not going to look it up. Okay, so this was How to Treat Magical Beasts. This is so far, it's shaping up to be a 10 out of 10 series. Thank you guys so much for reading this and for watching this video alongside me. I'm definitely, like, most of the series I pick up are series I'm kind of just reading, but I don't know if I'll actually buy them. Magical Beasts so far has been everything I've ever wanted. In general, I don't really buy physical things, but I'll definitely buy the digital release of this because it deserves to be sported. Wow, 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 wow. All right, so that was the series. I'm not going to say the name again because, my gosh, my throat's getting real sore. Bye for now. Nya nya.